What's good, party people? This is Voodoo in the Woods. I'm according to Woods. That's Voodoo Maximus. And as our special guest, we have none other than Global. What was it? Wasn't it
Global
Global?
Legion.
Yeah,
Global
Global
Legion.
Legion. Because, see,
Yeah.
I go like Global Force Wrestling, but then I go like Legion M, which is the thing that sets up like Kevin Smith, like archive and movies, restaurants, or what in any event. Israel Galvan, Hurrican, what's going on, my man?
Good man.
Right.
Training. Just got back from boxing. So putting in that work.
There it
All
is. There
right.
it
All
is.
right.
Now, I mean, you and Voodoo have an extensive history together. You guys were kind of talking off air about like he's
Yeah.
seen you as a youngin, coming in and grappling and punching and
Yeah.
kicking things. So, how does this kind of relationship start with you two?
You want to go ahead, Pius, or you want me to go?
Oh, you go, man. You go.
Okay. Just start training at the gym and get into wrestling with the kids, and then from there it was jujitsu with the adults, and Pius was one of the fighters at that gym, and we got along, and we have a good friendship, and Pius is a beast, so I wouldn't say anything bad to him.
Is that true, Voodoo? Is that true?
uh, 99%. I noticed the young man, hardworking young man. Doesn't say much. He's all about business. Got to know him. I would stop by PG at nighttime for the evening classes, and he would be in the classes there too. He's been there all day long. This kind of dude, this guy is. He's there all day long. All he does is train, and he's always ready to go. And I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, that's somebody who's dedicated right there. You know what I'm saying? I want to get to know this person a little bit more. So I would talk to him more. And he's responsive. He's mature for his age. In the combat sport aspect of things, he's mature. He vibes on that level. Doesn't matter what age. Even though he was like 16, 15, 16, 17, whatever that age was, he was
Yeah,
vibing on that level. You know what I mean? So we had a lot of fun training together.
sure did.
Now, I mean, how old were you around this time, Israel? Like,
Um, I was around 15. That's when I started going to that gym, and work hard. That's what it's about. You just have to work hard, and people give you props for that, and people tip their hat off or whatever you want to say, and it carries you out. So since I was working hard then, and look, it's paying off right now. On the podcast.
now, I mean, the what at 15? Because I know me at 15. I think I might have, uh, hmm, I might have tried to recreate Mick Foley's like dive off of the Hell in the Cell deal off of like the Inglewood High School awning and what
Yeah,
have you, or maybe I might have been watching Jackass and trying to attempt a lot of the things. Except for the toy car, like I'm not having a Matchbox car shoved up my butt. Just but what at 15 motivated you to kind of raise yourself to such a level of echelon and dedication that you're like, I'm gonna throw down with like everybody at Peterson Grappling and including Brian Peterson himself. Like, what about that? Because that's an outlier to me. I feel.
um, it's hard to really pinpoint what, but I strive to be the best at anything I do. Anything and everything I do, I want to try to be the best. And fighting is something that I've been good at since I can remember. I remember fighting kids in at school, and knocking kids down, getting knocked down, and whatnot. But fighting's always found me. So once I got into wrestling, I super I sealed. I went over and above everybody's expectations. And it's just it's what I'm meant to do. It's what I've I'm meant to do. So I think that's that's the biggest part, is that this is what I'm really good at, and nothing. Not I could be good at anything else, but fighting is always going to be there. Whether it's in a cage, whether it's in the gym, whether it's in a cage, it's always going to be close to me. So, yeah.
I should unmute myself. No, what was it about, like, fighting, right? Because we've seen people like on Instagram like claim that they're fighters, or
Yeah.
they'll get in a drunken stupor and go like, "Oh, I can fight," and whatever, and last all of 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
And it's just haymakers and what have you. But whose decision was it for you to actually start training rather than just kind of knuckling up and go bodies, fool?
uh, I think my father. I think he wanted me to pull me away from getting to street fights with kids and adults. I've been in both, but he didn't want me
Wow.
to be in that scene. He didn't want me to be a thug, a gangster or whatever. I'm still a gangster, but I handle it a different way. I don't try. I'm not trying to go to jail or anything like that, but yeah. So my father helped pulled me and put me in the sport and put me in boxing, Muay Thai, and that's what I was like. Oh wow, I'm really good. All the coaches that I've trained with over the years, they've told me that I'm gonna be. They're like, you could be the best, and I've heard those words a lot, and I want to be the best. So, and I'm gonna be the best eventually.
That's right.
Now, I mean, was your anybody in your family athletic, and was it more the athletics or just the sheer, kind of scrap in you that kind of led you down the path of fighting? Did anybody play football? Did you play football in your family?
Um, my dad played soccer in high school, and
Ah,
he was talented. He could have went to some pretty good soccer teams. I don't know what soccer teams they were, because my dad doesn't likes to look back at that because he's a little older now. But I know in high school he could have played for college already, and because he did a tryout when he was in high school, and he and the college coaches were like, "Oh, we want that kid in our team," and people are like, "You can't have him on your team. He's a high school student." So he's been athletic, and I got his genes, so they're strong. So yeah, gotta thank him.
yeah, it kind of reminds me of Voodoo because, like, I look at him, like, he's a Benjamin Button, right, where he does not age at all. So I'm looking at him, and like, what his father must have been like, either a gazelle or a gorilla, like just running across the plains, or just like trouncing everyone, right? So, but I
Yeah,
mean that part of it, right? Like your dad, because there are outliers, right? Most people can like dissuade it, right? But you can follow a particular meal plan or a training regimen or what have you,
yeah,
and somebody could be a curtain jerker, right? And maybe have a 50-50 record on the amateur scene, and then that same kind of regimen raises a world champion. Those
yeah,
outliers. How John Jones could submit like Dan Henderson as a white belt in submission underground, like just freaky outliers, right? So,
right.
I mean, but some of that kind of remained true in you, right? I mean, different sport and different kind of arena, but definitely you kind of are a chip off the old block.
Yeah, you got to be built. You got to be made for it. Like if you got skinny calves, I know people that have skinny calves, and you just can't really work work them out to be big and be heavy bone there, big bone there, whatever. And it's like if you take a hard calf kick in an MMA fight, it's more likely over,
Mhm.
soon. I don't got skinny calves. That's my first-
Hashtag Calfzilla.
yeah,
Calfzilla.
yeah,
Hey, Israel, man, I got a quick question, man. What
yeah.
was your first martial art that you studied? Maybe wrestling in school, or what was the very first one that let you know, okay, I got something here. I can work with this and build on it. Which one was it? And how long ago? What
Hmm.
age?
I started boxing with Benny the Jet's sister in Silmar. I don't remember the gym, but her name was Lily, and she said I was good. You know, she's like, "Oh, he's pretty good," but I was like 6, 7 years old, so I was pretty young. And you know, my dad didn't like that I was good at fighting. You know, so he took me away from it for a little while, and then I started fighting in school, and then my brother started doing kickboxing at PCMA gym in San Fernando Valley, and I was playing soccer, and I saw he was having fun. He was sparring and whatnot, and I would go see him sometimes. And I was like, man, I want to do that. You know, I was like 14, 13. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to, punch someone. And I started doing that, and I did that for maybe like 6, 7, 8 months, and I started getting really good. The coach there, his name was John. He was, he liked me. He was telling me that I could be the best. Another coach that told me I could be the best, and he said, you got to look into MMA, because I'm a smaller guy, but he was saying, MMA is, like ties in with the Muay Thai and the kickboxing that we were doing. So I think from there, that's when I realized I was like, I could go somewhere. I could have a better life. Have a Lambo in the garage one day.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, and Woods and I, we often talk about how um, the base martial art is always very important in the development of a fighter. And
Yeah.
we've come to the conclusion that right now, at this very moment, wrestling is that number one base, and then everything else tags along later.
Yeah.
It used to be jiu-jitsu in the beginning, but then once people understand the way jiu-jitsu is performed, then the wrestlers took the upper hand, so to speak, because now they have their aggression, the chain wrestling, to shut down the jiu-jitsu artists, right? And if you look at the current state of the champions lately, the wrestlers have been the ones that are doing things across all divisions, across all Bellator, wherever, you know what I mean, in regards to MMA. It's the same across the board. So I know you did some wrestling in high school, right? Did you do any
Yeah.
wrestling before high school, or did you just jump into wrestling in high school?
I probably trained wrestling for maybe 3 months before I decided to.
What?
Yeah, before I started to go in high school and compete. So that's why when I excelled, and I was one match away from going to state in California, which is really hard for my first time ever wrestling. Is like a achievement in itself, So wrestling.
Wow. Hey, that's pretty incredible because wrestling is one of those things that is extremely hard to do. You got to be built for it. The mentality of these wrestlers is different. When you look at wrestlers and you look at everyone else, there is a difference. They are willing to go a tad bit deeper into the depths of hell. You know what I mean? Just to get to the finish goal. I mean, it's been evidenced when we watched Kobe Covington versus Kamaru Usman. They were right there punching each other in the face for 24 minutes and whatever. So the entire time at full pace. Only wrestlers can do that. Only wrestlers have the ability to do that. Everyone else have tried, but they don't come close to what they did. So when I first saw you, and I was like, oh man, this dude's a pretty good wrestler. I didn't realize you had just started wrestling less than a year before that. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I thought you were already established wrestler. So that's
no.
the thing, man. That you can also make another argument that some people are just built different. You know what I mean? And this kid is an example of what I'm talking about. He has just started wrestling, And he's already, when I met him, I already thought he was an established wrestler, but he had just started. So there's something inside him that pushes him to that edge. You know what I mean? Such that he is
Yeah.
able to match a wrestler and then eventually assimilate the wrestler's prowess and then add that to his game.
Yeah. Um, what I would say about that is, I think a big part is starting when you're young. You know, when a young kid goes into wrestling, um, he's probably plays too much video games or whatever, but he gets beat. He's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get beat up at the gym. He's gonna get
Mm-hmm.
tossed. He's gonna lose some air. Maybe his ribs are gonna be sore, and he wants to. He doesn't want that to happen to him, and his dad might force him to go, or he might really want to try. And you really find out if you really want to let wrestling like inhale you. Like wrestling can take over someone's life. I feel like, because the strive to get better and like take people down is like you feel like you don't feel anything else like it, like taking someone down and pinning them or taking them. It's a whole different feeling from scoring a goal or scoring a touchdown. It's not really the same. It's just like you just inflicted your will on another human. So it's so it's kind of addicting. But I think starting as a young age plays a big part in being tough. Being tough in the sport. But there are exceptions where some people have um, more skill than a bigger heart. And if you have a big heart and you have great skill, you're not going to get beat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. At least not by most. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you're still
It will, yeah.
yeah. So it's like
It will have to be the top level competition
yeah,
that can have an opportunity to do something like that, and that's where we want to be in anyway, in great
yeah,
company. And that's just the prowess of a wrestler. And I love how he explained it. You know what I mean? It can be addictive. It can take over your life because to be the base of mixed martial arts, you have to sacrifice that. You have to be addicted to it. Like Conor McGregor said, he says he's addicted to this. You know what I mean? He's addicted to the game of mixed martial arts. A wrestler, you know what I mean, has to be addicted to the art of wrestling as well. It overtakes you, and it's an amazing thing. I love wrestling. I'm the number one, you know what I mean,
yeah,
backer of wrestling, and not just what I'm saying. Evidence shows it. So wrestling tough, man. It's like being Bill Fort tough.
yeah. Ford. I like that.
So, what led you? I mean, was the first gym that you trained in terms of like former mixed martial arts, aside from your wrestling prowess in high school? Did you start off at Brian Peterson's or?
No, I started PM AC or CA in uh, what's it? San Fernando Valley. That's where I started. Yeah, in like 2014, around there. Started training there for a year, Muay Thai. So yeah, that's like I feel like where it all began.
And a little work from the Jet Center sister, right? Being in the
Yeah,
Jet sister.
yeah,
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 yeah. That's what's up, man. It's interesting how things align, how your journey goes from this person to that person, and you're learning, you're gathering knowledge, and then pretty soon you're going to be established, and then boom, you're going to do your own thing, and then there's growth. You know what I mean? You take all those skills and then you put it to. Now you're already doing that already, actually, because you've already had your first pro fight, right?
yeah. I've had three.
Yeah.
Three and
Okay, there you go. So now leads me to my second question for you. How many amateur fights did you have, and what were your experiences in the amateur?
um, on paper, I had 9, and then I went to Spain, Barcelona for
That's
one.
right.
but it was a weird. It wasn't an MMA fight. The first round is actually funny story. The first round was Taekwondo. The second round was kickboxing, and then the third round was MMA. So yeah, so we had for Taekwondo we had these boots on, and then when you're on after the in the break period, we're taking them off, and then we had the boxing gloves still on for the second round, and then on the third round we take off the boxing gloves and then put on MMA gloves.
Wow.
And it wasn't a cage. It was a weird. It was weird, but yeah. But that was.
It was like a platform. Was it like a platform?
It was like on the side. It was inflatable. I don't know if you've seen those karate fights that they have now, where people get knocked out. Yeah, it's kind of like that on the side. So
the Chuck Norris, that Chuck Norris Uriah Hall, where he kind of got his start. It's almost like a bowl. And
yeah. The new one that they have now is called Combat Karate with Bash Rutten is a part of that. Yeah, that Combat Karate. I like what they're doing with that. It's kind of some kind of a bowl, like you say, like a in the ground, pretty much,
Yes.
And the edges are at a nice angle, such that you can see into the pit. I like the idea. Imagine MMA and something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to believe Russia will do it because they got 3-on-3 people in superhero costumes, and then they got 3-on-3 regular, and then there's also an American Gladiator where they're actually doing obstacle courses and then dropping knees on each other. It's just wild in Russia, and that Barcelona Spain experience. It almost reminded me of Bully Beatdown on MTV, but it seems like you, good sir, have fared a lot better than the Bully Beatdown host, Jason Mayhem Miller.
Yeah. And one more thing. What was your experience like in that bowl for the MMA part?
It did and didn't play a factor. There was a couple of times where you did bounce off the thing because it was inflatable. You bounced off it, and then you can eat a knee or whatnot, a kick or a punch. But it was fun. I'd probably do it again. But yeah, if it was all MMA, I would do it again. If it was that one round, different thing, I wouldn't do it just because it's big gloves and yeah.
But it's good experience, though. It's good experience. You got to do, hey, look, check it out. You got to do Taekwondo on the big stage, kickboxing on the big stage, and MMA on the big stage. So it's a rare experience. How many people can say they've done something like that? Very rare experience.
Not a lot of people. I remember the question you asked me, what kind of experience I got from amateur. I feel like amateur plays a huge part in your career if you want to be a pro MMA fighter. It plays such a big part. I remember coaches telling me, I want you to fight 10 times amateur. I'm like what the hell? I'm like, no way. I'm gonna fight 4 or 5 whatever. But the 10 that I fought, I feel set me up for professional. And because I fought the best of the best. I went to Bahrain to fight, in a national champ from India, a national champ from Ukraine, a Kyrgyzstanian guy, a guy from Jordan. I fought all those people. I don't have a California amateur belt here in California, but it's because nobody wanted to fight me, and yada yada yada. But I had to go around the country. I went to freaking. I'm a Pan American champion, so I had to go places to find people to fight, and I fought the best. Nobody could take away my decorated amateur, background, because it's I fought in the best of the best. I fought guys from around the world. I didn't just go in my hometown and look for oh, this guy from this gym, yeah, I beat that guy around the corner and that guy too around the block. Like, no, I went around the world. I beat this guy from that country, that country, in, seconds or whatever it was. I put him asleep, but that you need your career. If you want to be a professional MMA fighter, you need amateur. I can't express that any much like more because like it's that plays like Pius. You
That's
need
right.
to fight before you put on small MMA gloves because if you put small MMA gloves on and you take a wrong punch, you're gonna get knocked out. You're gonna get hurt. You might not be the same. So those 6 ounces they're really forgiving, and the
Mm.
machine guards.
Yes, yes. Take your amateur career very seriously because that
Yeah,
is where you build your building blocks. Very true. Very true statement. Very, very true statement. I agree 100%.
and because if you're fighting amateur and you get beat up, you might not
Mm.
want to go into pro. Like you're gonna find out in amateur if you want to be a fighter or not. And if you do, then good luck. But if you don't, then I mean, you save yourself some head trauma.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. You got to be cut from a different cloth, man, to do this. I totally
Yeah,
understand. Not everyone is built to do this. You know what I mean? A lot of
yeah,
them find out in the cage. There was a young man not too long ago. Remember that guy, Adam Woods? He fought in the first round, and then the second round, he was like, "Nah, I don't want to go no more." Remember?
Yeah,
And he was in the UFC. He was like,
yeah.
"I don't want to go no more."
He quit on the stool after the first
Yeah,
round.
I forget his name.
And it was a
he,
short notice fight. I believe he was out of Robert Drysdale camp in Vegas. Yeah, but yeah, he pretty much he got a short notice fight, won, and then he kind of quit on the stool and essentially got expelled from not just like the UFC, but like he hasn't gotten a fight since.
yeah,
Hey, he found out that it wasn't something that he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Some
yeah,
people are not built for this. I mean, see, that guy was able to get away with it for quite some time. You know what I mean? Doing
yeah,
whatever he was to get him to that point. But then when he got there and adversity faced him, you know what I mean? He was like, okay, this is not for me. You, on the other hand, a lot of people play Street Fighter. You know what I mean? They play as a character Ryu, but then you live the life of Ryu. You have to leave the continent to go to a different continent to go get competition. What's more Ryu than that? You know what I'm saying? What's more gangster than that? You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
what I'm talking about. You're on the right track,
exactly.
kid. Let's
Yeah,
let's keep on moving, man. Let's
yeah.
keep on grinding.
Thanks, man.
Now,
Definitely.
you not only have so young have fought amateur and pro, right, but then also have this international experience. You talked about Parade, you talked about Barcelona, Spain, right?
Yeah,
um how did that come about? Because even sometimes fighting fights here domestically is rough, right?
yeah, it's
Like, and we kind of saw that during 2020 with all the shutdown and what have you, where
three
there was.
times in
Yeah,
2020.
did you really?
Yeah, I don't. There's no excuses for anybody that didn't want to fight. They're just being lazy. We're not. They were at home, scared of Corona. I was at the gym. I was, training in garages. So, if a coach wanted me to put a mask on to train, then I'll put the mask on. I don't care, but I'm gonna train. I'm gonna get that work in. I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna train because you want me to wear a mask. Like no, I'll do what I have to do to train. So
That's
yeah,
right. That's what's up. That's exactly what's up. I mean, what else? What else is there to be said? You know what I'm saying? What else is there to be said in regards to that? You know what I mean? People say I don't have time, but you have to make time, right? And you're
yeah,
making time for your training, which is fantastic. Now, what's going on now? What's going on? What is the future? The near future. What does the near future hold? Any fights in the horizon coming up for you?
yeah. I'm in camp right now. I'm getting ready for a fight in July 31st or 30th. I'm not sure on the date, but it's one of those 2 days. It's going to be in Arizona. For what promotion is it? Forgot what the promotion's name is, but I think it's CF MMA. But yeah, it's a good organization. It's a pretty cool. I've seen some of their events, and it's pretty big. So I'm gonna get excited, being in that cage and fighting. So that's what I'm up to right now, just training and getting ready for that fight. So I'm looking at right now.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
How about you, Pipes? You gonna get in the ring?
And me? Well,
Yeah, man.
I don't think I'll be getting back in the ring, even though I would love to. My kids are growing up, man. I have a 14, a 10, and twin 8. Hey, yeah.
You're that old already?
Speaking of,
dang.
Yeah, they're old already, right? You know what I'm saying? So
I remember when they were kids, when they're small. They're all like,
yeah.
Time flies.
Back then, they didn't have much to do. You know what I mean? They were still young. So now they're joining teams. They're playing football. They're playing basketball and such and such. And bottom line is, someone has to take them. I mean, even when we were training together back then, they have to be at the gym with me, right? So so it was either they hang out on the sideline watching me, or I hang out on the sideline watching them. So I just decided to watch them, but I still get my training on. I still try to make it to PG as much as I can. I train here at Flying Kick in Northridge a couple of times a week. So I'm trying my best to stay fit and still able.
Hey man,
can't talk MMA if you're not practicing it, right?
I bet you don't have to work out, man. You still have that 6-pack. You're buff as hell.
Man. You have no idea. I used to be buff. Now it's the over the pandemic, I shot up to 217 pounds.
Wow.
200, yeah. So I don't know what happened, man. It was more like when they were like, hey man, don't go outside. So I was like, all right. You know what I'm saying? I just shut that department. I shut it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then once I got to 217, I was like, oh, this is not where I would like to be. So I reversed the process, turned the factory back on, and it's starting to heat back up. So I'm on my way back to 170. I'm probably at 194 right now, 194. So I'm on my way back down. Yeah. So where are you training now, man? Where are you training now?
The only gym that I train at is KD MMA. It's in Glendale.
Okay.
Yeah. So and the coach, the coach there is his name. His name's Karin. I don't want to butcher his last name, but his name's Karin. He's an Armenian guy. He fought in the UFC, and so yeah, he has good experience, good stuff to teach me. So that's my I'd say my gym. That's one of my gyms. But besides that, I train in garages, man. I train in garages like the champions are doing that right now. I've been doing that for 3 years, little maybe more. I've been training in the privates. That's the way to go, if you want to be serious, of course.
That's right.
I've been training, my boxing with Speedy Gonzalez. I've been training my MMA coach is Neil. Coach Neil?
Neil? I'm sure. I'm sure I know this person. It's just my name recognition sucks, but when I see a face, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when or where I saw them. I will always remember. So when I see the face, I will match the name. Yeah, I know you still work with Batman.
Batman?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Herman.
Oh, Herman. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was training with him, but he left down to Mexico to live over there.
Oh, he's gone?
Yeah,
he moved?
Yeah, he left me, man. I'm like, damn, coach. I'm like, what am I gonna do now? But I'm with Neil Abrams, so they're good friends. He was he's a black belt. He was training at what's that one gym that closed over there by the industrial center? Oh, Big John,
uh,
Big John's.
Big John McCarthy. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
he was
Oh, okay,
he
okay.
was one of the
Oh,
coaches
okay,
over
okay,
there.
okay. Oh
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Like I
yeah,
said, I just put it together right now.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what's up, man. That's what's
yeah.
up.
And
That's
then
what's
I'm
up.
I'm also training with another jiu-jitsu coach. I got like three grappling coaches because like you were saying, grappling is where it's at. It's like if you don't
Yep.
got grappling, then we've seen it multiple times. If you don't got grappling, you're gonna get submitted. You're gonna get
Oh
hurt.
yeah.
You're gonna get taken down like nonstop. So another coach is uh what's his freaking name? Abel. Abel. I got my notes. I got my cheat notes. uh, his name's freaking Abe. Abe. We call him Abel.
Okay.
Yeah, he's another black belt, and we train. We privates train like twice a week, 3 times a week if we can. But yeah, that's what I'm putting in work with.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Um, Calm down, man. This dog keeps bothering me, man. He want to play, but I'm busy right now. I'm at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, Woods, you got any more from my brother here?
Oh man, my dog has been weird. No, what I want to say is like after this, this fight in Arizona, like are you looking to kind of get it in since you were so busy in 2020?
Am I trying to what?
Are
Like,
you trying to get another one in?
oh yeah, I'm trying to. I'm not sure how many times I want to fight this year, but the fight goes well. I don't come out with any injuries. I want to get another fight in the next couple few months. So that's how I've been doing it. I fought 4 times in 4 days MMA. So for amateur in Bahrain. So like fighting in fighting next month and then fighting the month after isn't a big deal to me because I fought back to back you know multiple times. So I want to get fight as many times as possible. I want to reach the top quick. I want to be in the UFC as fast as I can. I want to hopefully be the youngest MMA UFC champion in the world. I want to beat John Jones' record.
That's
That
right.
I mean, that's pretty lofty. I mean, we're talking about an all-time great, but
Yeah,
you got to shoot for the moon. Even if you fall short, you land amongst the stars, right?
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna turn 21 in August, so I got like 2 years after that to beat that. 'Cause he was 23. He was like 23 when he was champ. So if I get close and when I'm 23, that'll be nice. I'll be ecstatic.
Now, are
All
there
right, man. Go ahead,
anybody
Woods.
that you kind of emulate or dig or that you watch and kind of source like not maybe inspiration or motivation from?
Like a fighter, does that have to be a fighter?
No.
Um, no one, nobody really. I don't really I don't pay attention to many what people do like any MMA fighters. Like obviously I got Instagram, I got my phone. I do watch what people say and what and happens, but I'm not into like following or doing what this person does or anything like that. I'm not into I'm my own person, so I'm not trying to be influenced too much by anybody because I don't want my beliefs or what I say and how I say it. I don't want that to be mixed up with anybody else. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, I like to be straight shooter. So
No, I mean I think that's cool. That's cool. Now getting away from fights, obviously, a tenured vet you are. I've won championships. In a different promotion. But
Yeah.
after a fight, after weight cut, after basically testing your metal, your mental, your psychological, your physical. What do you do to kind of like break down? Is there like like a victory meal that you like to indulge in before you have to get back in the thick of things again? And
Um, Not a meal. It's a couple of drinks. That's what works.
there you go.
You,
What?
you know can't really say that, but that's it. After my fight, I enjoy if it's a victory or loss, just enjoy that I was in there and I did my best. Unless it's like my last fight where I got injured in the ring before the fight started. But um, yeah, I was doing knee jumps, like high knee jumps, and both my feet gave in, and I went like boom, like it was I've never felt this pain before. It hurt so bad. I was like, it didn't cross my mind, but I was like, after the fight, I was like, dude, I shouldn't have not fought. Like I shouldn't, I should have been like timeout. Like I'm not right. My ankles like swolled up. I couldn't walk. I was on my knees in uh in the hotel room, like walking around. But I fought like that, and I like that was the first time I felt like I wasn't in a fight. My face
Mm.
was fine. I didn't get touched. Like I did more damage to the kid I fought than he did to me, and I had no feet. That's just like
Wow.
I had no feet. Like I don't want to say this, but I still one of my ankles is still kind of hurt. Like it's not 100%. It's around like 80%, but it's not 100%. Still to this day, because what had happened. But it was a split decision. So you know, but
Even in an injury, man, you still gave him hell.
yeah, I want to fight. I'm gonna fight that kid again one day, and I'm gonna finish him. It might not be in the first. It's gonna be in the second. I'm not gonna let that kid go to the third round. No way. That kid,
That's right.
he got lucky, man. He won the lottery. He won the lottery, dude. For real. I'm kind of mad, but yeah,
Sometimes these things happen for a reason, and
yeah,
what we get from it is what matters most. So as long as this is motivation for you to tune it up even a little bit higher, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
be it.
yeah. It
Yeah, man.
definitely fired me up a little bit. I have like a little more fire, a little more gas on the fire. So
Yeah. So, for those who want to follow you as you march into Arizona, kind of behind enemy lines, right, and
yeah,
see what you're doing as you prep for it, where can people find you on social media?
you could find me on Instagram at hurrican.galvan. Um, that's about it. I mean, you know, I have a Facebook, but that's like for my family, so I don't really like to promote that. But follow me on Instagram, and you could, I don't put too much behind the scenes or anything like that, but you could see my stories. That's where I mainly put stuff on my stories. Me playing video games or me catching fish or whatever, because I like fishing. So if you know any spots, hit me up. Any secret uh, spots? Yeah.
There it is. There it is. Well, again, thank you for joining us here at Voodoo in the Woods. And Voodoo, where can they find you on social media, good sir?
Well, I'll be on YouTube, Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter, and that's Voodoo Maximus all day long.
There it is. This has been Voodoo in the Woods with Voodoo Maximus, Israel Galvan, and me, According to Woods, and we will see you later.